Hey, rest in peace to DMX, bro.
Hey, hold on. Let me
Rest
fucking.
in,
We're gonna take a sip. Gonna pour a little on the floor for DMX.
taking a sip of this New Glory Mouth Party Hazy IPA. Shout out to them. I like the design of the can, but shout out to DMX. Fucking heartbreaking loss, bro. This is a nice swig of beer to DMX, bro. Rest in power.
That's all I can say. Salute. God damn.
That shit is good,
These
bro.
IPAs have not. These IPAs have not been disappointing so far.
I know this boy don't miss.
Spoiled don't miss. So if you guys want some good ass beer recommendations, you already know where to go. Right here. This fool. These fools gonna give it to you.
Hey, for real, check us out on our IG page. We post up all the beers that we're drinking on there. Post up the brewery. Check us out. But what's up, bro? How was your day today? It's fucking WrestleMania Saturday. Fucking hyped about that.
Hey, so this is a new thing they're doing, right? This is the first time I ever heard of them breaking up into two nights.
Yeah, this is the second year that they do it. They did it.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
they did it last year. That's when they first started it. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I like it, but it's also weird because when they started implementing that, that's when COVID had just started happening. So the dynamic hasn't really been the same because the fans do play a big part in it.
That's very, very true.
Yeah,
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't even know they did last year. I honestly thought they barely did this shit this year.
it's cool because like WrestleMania used to be like 8 hours worth of wrestling and shit, and that's cool. But people, the crowd would be exhausted of just watching wrestling all day. And so I mean it's cool, but for example, today the main event was a women's main event between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair for the women's title, and it's cool, but I almost didn't give it the respect that it deserved because I knew like the real main event is tomorrow night. Feel me?
So you're
Mhm.
already treating it like a fucking undercard.
I was like, yeah, like tomorrow's the real one, you know?
Yeah, you were treating it like the
No,
prelims on UFC, and you're just
exactly.
like, eh.
Exactly. No,
Wow.
no disrespect to all the wrestlers on there because they put their body on the line for our entertainment. But yeah, I'm not trying to speak down upon them, but that's just how I felt. You know, like oh tomorrow's actually WrestleMania, but I guess that's just a tradition of it always being on the Sunday.
That's very true. That's why I was so thrown off when I heard it was on today. I was genuinely confused. So when I looked it up, I guess it made sense, but I didn't know. I didn't even know that show's 8 hours right now. Like what you just said, I didn't even know that show's for that long. Like, you're telling me this whole time my whole life has been a lie, and these shows are really there for 8 hours?
Bro, that shit had gotten ridiculously long. Before, I mean, it was like 2 hours and then 3 hours and four
Uh,
hours. But bro, eventually it got to like some crazy thing of like there'd be like 6 hours worth of like the main show and then like 2 hours worth of pre-shows. It was crazy.
no fucking shit. That's wild as fuck. I did not even know that. Um, damn, that's really wild as fuck. That's fucking crazy. 8 fucking hours? Jesus. No wonder the fucking well, yeah, the crowd makes a big difference in it, but like fuck 8 hours. Who the fuck wants to be
Yeah.
clocked in for 8 hours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would be dead as fuck by the end of the night and shit.
By the main event,
Yeah,
the one
yes.
event they need to be hyped up for.
Yeah, there and that's happened a lot of times throughout WrestleMania where like one match will just be stupid hype, stupid lit, and the crowd will go out, and then but the next match they got no energy, and it's just dead.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's wild as fuck. Um, yeah, man. Interesting. So tomorrow, like, what are all the main events tomorrow? Or like,
damn.
what's the matches to watch out for?
Well, tomorrow the main event is Roman Reigns defending the Universal title against Daniel Bryan and Edge, a returning Edge for all of our nostalgia people, nostalgia
Okay,
fans.
Edge, as in the one that's still leader from Matt Hardy.
Yeah,
Edge,
yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's not bring that up.
the rated R superstar
The
Edge.
rated R superstar Edge,
Uh,
the Brood Edge. But yeah, the rated R superstar Edge came
that's
back.
fucking wild.
It's pretty cool, man. I mean, he retired because of injury. The doctor said if he were to keep wrestling, that might be it. You know, he might be paralyzed or he might lose his life. So it's cool seeing guys like that, like Daniel Bryan, who's also in the main event. He had a similar situation where he had to retire due to injury, but rehabbed, and apparently now they're both clear to wrestle. So it's cool for them. And I just hope they put up a banger. I hope they put up a banger tomorrow.
Yeah, Undertaker was on ever since the Undertaker was on JRE, and I watched that whole thing and I heard how he explained like the process of being in WWE and like what they do in the ring and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's just it's crazy because even though it's scripted and it's not live in the sense of like anybody can win, it's still kind of like they still do it a little bit on the fly, a little bit like improvising, a little bit of just like rolling off of each other.
Oh, for sure.
Uh, so that's I thought that shit was really cool. I honestly didn't know that. I thought the whole time when they rehearse before like Monday night or whatever the nights are that they do the Raw and SmackDown. I thought this whole time they had to rehearse the whole
Oh
fucking
nah,
thing from
bro.
like start to
Nah.
finish or some shit. I thought that shit was intense,
Nah,
but
you might go over some spots, like for example, like let's say you and I are wrestling, and one of our big spots is like, oh, I'm gonna jump off the rope, and you gotta catch me. Like that's a spot. So that's something
uh,
that you and I are agreed to do at one point in the match. So during the match, we'll just flow, like we'll just do basically wrestling and shit, and then we'll be like, all right, bro, like go for the spot, and then like we'll go whatever you and I rehearsed. But then there's also like some fools like some old school heads. For example, I know that John Cena would do this. He would just call everything in the ring. He would just be like, "Hey, bro, like you fucking go outside. I'm gonna fucking springboard off of this shit, and you catch me or whatever." So
oh,
there's fools who really just call that shit on the fly, and
in
they
front
make
of the fans.
in front of the fans. Yeah. So there's just fools who are just too legit like that, and they're like they'll have the finish practice. They'll have that like set out already. So be like, all right, bro, the finish of the match is gonna be like I give you the power bomb 1 2 3 or whatever. So they'll have that
Oh,
already planned out. But the whatever's in between, like that's just whatever happens, you know.
interesting.
But it depends. Some of them already have rehearsed spots. Some of them just just do everything on the fly.
So situations like Royal Rumble, are those shit scripted ahead of time?
Yeah, yeah. So they'll have people. They'll have like people who are gonna eliminate other people. How things like that. Just because sometimes they use eliminations to like build storylines. For example, Roman Reigns eliminated the Undertaker, and they had like a stare down.
Hmm.
When that happened, and that build up to the rest to their match at WrestleMania 33. So yeah, just eliminations like that are their practice. Maybe not all of them, or maybe they are, but for the most part, the important ones, or things that they want to use to launch certain storylines, they'll rehearse it for sure, or they'll call a spot on it.
Has there been any situations where the 30th entry comes in and then they just kind of do it on the fly and they eliminate the 30th entry and the guy's like actually like what the fuck I was supposed to win and like on the 30th entry what the fuck, you know?
I don't know if anything like that's ever happened, but I remember there was a Royal Rumble where it came down to John Cena and Batista, and I think Batista was supposed to win, but these fools actually like they were going for their spot, and they actually eliminated each other at the same time, and it was just it
Oh,
yeah, it was just crazy coincidence that
huh.
they really did eliminate each other at the same time. And to make things even more hilarious, once that happened, Vince McMahon came out from the back, all pissed off, and he was walking towards the ring, threw out his blazer and shit, and threw that shit on the floor. He was heated, and then when he slid in the ring, he blew both of his quads, so he couldn't stand up anymore. So he slid in the ring and
What
just
the fuck?
so
Oh shit.
so he slid into the ring, blew both of his quads, and he couldn't stand up. So he was just sitting in the ring like a little kid, just yelling at him like blah blah blah, restart the match or whatever. But he was just laying there like on the
Because he
fucking
can't
ring
get up.
because he couldn't get up because he blew both of his quads from sliding in the ring.
How the fuck do you blow both your quads out like that? What the fuck? I've never been in a ring, but I'm curious. How do you blow your quads like that?
Yeah, so John Cena and Batista were like, bro, I won, whatever. And he's just right there on the sitting in the ring, like on his ass and shit.
Yeah, that's fucking wild. How did you feel about Bad Bunny being in that event? What event was that? Was that Survivor Series? Fastlane or some shit?
Man, he wrestled today. He wrestled today at WrestleMania. Uh,
No shit, Bad
yeah,
Bunny,
yeah,
Bad
Bad
Bunny,
Bunny,
baby.
el conejo malo, yeah. That fool. He wrestled today in a tag team with Damian Priest against The Miz and John Morrison, and I mean it was cool. I have mixed opinions on it, just because I know that his involvement in this match will give WWE or in just professional wrestling in general, you'll give it a lot of attention. I know that his match in particular will be on the news tomorrow, so it'll attract more eyes to WrestleMania or to pro wrestling in general, hopefully. However, I do understand the people who are wrestlers on that roster and who show up day in and day out and bust their ass, and they're not on the WrestleMania card. And this guy, Bad Money, who doesn't have any WrestleMania experience, or I mean, pro wrestling experience, just gets to have a match on the biggest stage where everyone who's a pro wrestler dreams of being. So I understand how that is very like can be problematic if to other people. So I mean, it's just 50-50. He had a good match. It was fun. I mean, I think it's a one and done. But yeah, man, I just feel bad for the guy who has been through hell, busted his ass, and Mad Bunny took his spot.
But he was in an event like a month ago, right?
Yeah, he might have had an appearance here and there. I know he like
Because
he
I remember seeing that fool jump off the ropes.
yeah, I think that was at the Royal Rumble. Um, so yeah. He had done that, but in terms of like being in a match, today was his like debut. The other times he just did a spot. Basically, he just jumped off the top. He just did a spot.
Okay, fuck it, Bad Bunny. I know he's a big WWE fan. You know, he has Booker T. He did that song
Yeah,
about Booker T. He had Ric Flair in that one video, one song I already forgot. Um, that's crazy. Fucking Bad Bunny. Like, it's so funny when you think about it because I feel like the average person that's a WWE fan probably gets ridiculed from like bitches and hoes and shit. And this fool's over here like a super fan. He's just getting all over their
hey,
pussy, you know?
hey, I'm gonna drink to that.
Damn, my boy, you've been doubting that shit. I'm like fucking not even halfway through. I'm like sipping this
That
shit
shit's
and
already
enjoying
gone,
it.
bro.
Shout out to New Glory again. New Glory Craft Brewery Mouth Party Hazy IP Double IPA. We didn't even tell you guys the percentage. What's the percentage on this bad boy? 8.5%. Y'all don't even fucking know how we do it over here on this full podcast. We don't fuck with that fucking under 8% shit unless it's Stone Cold's fucking Broken Skulls. But that's because we support the fucking rattlesnake himself. But
Hey,
right? Am I right or am I right?
hey, shout out to the rattlesnake. I joined the Great Bald Army because of him. And shit, fucking. I remember being a little kid and drinking. I mean, I would drink soda as a little kid. I do not recommend it at all. But I would do the fucking Stone Cold 2 cans with fucking Coke, bro. That shit was horrible. But whatever. Shout out to my man Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That fool was the reason why we all had water bottles and was just bang that shit and fucking try to drink that shit twice. Or you want to be like Triple H and fucking get that water
Hell
bottle,
yeah.
pour it in your mouth and just spit that shit like that wasn't disgusting and
Fuck,
unsanitary.
fucking Bad Bunny did that shit courtside at an NBA game. He did it on the court.
Oh, I remember that video. Then the security guys was like, boy, sit your ass down.
Like they just wiped this shit, bro. Like what the fuck you doing?
That's funny, but like, am I right about the whole Bad Bunny thing, or am I right? Come on, that shit's like,
Hey, you
that's to
are
me, that
right.
shit's funny. That
For
shit's just
real.
funny. Like, I see so many people get wet over this one. This was just a fucking geek with this fucking
That was a
WWE
pro
shit.
wrestling fan for real.
But
Not maybe not even a pro wrestling fan, but a WWE fan. I feel like
yeah,
there's a big difference between the two. People who think of pro wrestling and immediately think about WWE.
of course, it's like MMA. Like, you can't say UFC
Yeah,
without saying, or think of MMA without saying UFC, even though it's Bellator, one championship, and all these other shits. But yeah, you can't pretend like WWE doesn't have that monopoly hold on fucking
yeah,
professional wrestling.
exactly. That's a good point. There's people who are fans of MMA and there's people who are just fans of UFC, for sure.
Exactly. I always appreciated watching when I was a kid. Like TNT, was it called Impact Wrestling?
Impact Wrestling,
And then
TNA
and then
Impact Wrestling.
wondering, yeah, TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling Impact or whatever the fuck that shit was called. You could tell just like it sucks because I wanted to see it be as big as fucking WWE, but you knew it wasn't by just looking at the production set. Like
I
you just
know,
knew it
man.
wasn't. They had an interesting idea. They had the octagon ring, right, or the
Yeah,
hexagon
yeah,
ring. That
yep,
shit's pretty. That's a pretty cool idea. I fuck with that.
yeah.
Uh, but I always found it funny when I saw WWE stars on there. I'm like, why are they on there? It didn't dawn on me that maybe they didn't strike a deal with WWE or something fell through the cracks and they're over there at TNT or whatever the fuck. I mean, I'm sure there's other reasons, but like my favorite watching on TNA was Rob Van Dam.
Hey, for real, Robin. Hey, he's going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow. So
Oh,
if
okay.
if not, he might be already inducted to the Hall of Fame. So shout out to fucking Raw Van
Yes, sir.
Dam,
I'm
sick
gonna drink to that.
fucking sick ass food. Yeah, I know that he's an advocate for marijuana. So shout out to that. I know he has his own products too. So
Oh, really?
I've been wanting to try those, and I know that
What's
he's
it called?
fucking. I don't even know, to be honest, but I think it might be called like Mr. Monday Night Weed or something like that. I don't know.
That's lit. That's a nice name. I like that.
It might be it. If it's not, you can have that RVD. I won't charge you for it. But he's also, I think he's fucking two bad bitches at the same damn time, like that Future song.
Hold up. Hold up. What?
Yeah, my man's in like a an open relationship or something like that. So shout out to that fool. He's
Oh,
over
what's it called?
here.
A magus or some shit like that? I don't fucking
I don't know, open relationship, swinger. I don't know, whatever.
know.
I just know that was fucking bitches and smoking weed
You
and
just
wrestling.
know this.
What
You know
else?
this fool.
What else would I want, bro? That was smoking, wrestling, fucking bitches. That's a life. RVD, if you listen to this, bro, I fucking love you. I wish to have a life as similar as I can to yours.
What was his? What was his? Well, first of all, I was gonna say. So you're telling me he's frog splashing and rolling thundering into
That
fucking
shit's
two different
hard.
bitches?
Hell yeah. That rolling thunder, both the name and like the move, hard as fuck. I don't think no one has copied them yet, surprisingly, on that rolling thunder. But I mean, there's a bunch of people who do like frog splashes now and shit.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I would practice my rolling thunder onto the bed and shit. You know, like or just grab a pillow, throw it on the
Hell
floor,
yeah.
and do my rolling thunder on it. Like I always did that, but
I just frog
like
splash that bitch too. What the fuck?
a frog slash that bitch and miss on purpose. uh, damn. Fuck. What was I gonna say? Oh, what was his fighting style? Like he had this whole yin yang fucking roundhouse kicking. I don't know what the fuck he was. Is this supposed to be like a martial artist?
I would say so, yeah. And he was just cool because he was very like zen. I remember seeing this like video package of him doing the splits over like two chairs. So he had like one leg on one chair and one leg on the other, and he was
I
just
had seen that picture.
dangling below.
Yeah,
He was like
yeah.
below parallel, I think, and I just think, damn. And RVD is a pretty like thick guy, you know. He's not like a
He is
skinny
not
guy.
small and
Yeah,
thin. I think he's like 6 feet tall. And he's fucking
yeah.
built like a
He
truck.
he's a pretty thick guy, and the fact that he's flexible and just can and is very that acrobatic. I've always been a big fan of him. I think he's very underrated, and I think I'm excited for him to go into the Hall of Fame. I think it's well deserved. Even though I don't think he needs that in his career, but well deserved. I hope he's smoking three blunts and fucking five bitches. You
He's
know,
playing
not.
the game. He's playing the game. That song always used to get me so hyped. That whole little wow.
One of a
Yeah.
kind. Hey,
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
hey.
one of a kind.
Yeah, that
Damn.
that shit was lit. Fucking
Uh,
RVD. And
it.
just the fact that like Eddie Guerrero had a nice frog splash too, and everyone would call his like frog splash, but when RVD did it, that shit was a 5-star frog splash, bro. You got to get the name right on that shit.
Oh,
It wasn't it was
educate us. What was the difference?
I mean, in terms of like the physical appearance that I could see, our Eddie Guerrero would hold his hands like this together, and he'd go like that as like the frog,
Yeah.
and RVD would do this. I mean, there's not really much of a difference. It's just whatever guy
Was it
preferred.
so then like
Um,
his hand placement was different?
yeah, his hand play was different, and I would like to say that RVD got more air. He would jump higher than Eddie Guerrero, and even in Collision, Eddie Guerrero would like pin or whatever, but Rob Van Dam, when he would land, Rob Van Dam would sell the fall. He would jump high as fuck, land on his opponent, and then he and his opponent would be like, oh fuck, like my stomach, because he would sell like, hey bro, like this shit is so gacho that I even fuck myself up too, so so
Oh
so
shit.
I mean, respects to Eddie Guerrero, one of the greats. But when RVD did the frog splash, that shit was a 5-star frog splash, bro. For those who are on audio only, Dave and I just took a swig of a beer and a hit of the city for two of the greats, Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam. Shout out to those
Hell
fools.
yeah. Hell yeah. Eddie Guerrero was the fucking reason why all the fucking Mexicans in the neighborhood were trying to be wrestlers and shit, you know? You feel me? I was one of them. I was like, hell yeah, I like Gene Steele. I don't give a fuck. I was over here trying to say, I'm gonna get a lowrider when I get older. I'm gonna be walking around fucking with a mullet and shit. I was trying to be that fucking guy, but obviously, like, I feel like as I got a little older, from a kid to like a preteen or whatever, and I was still watching wrestling, I started thinking like, I don't think I'm that type of wrestler anyway. Like, I feel like I'll be a John Cena. I'll be more of a brawler. I don't think I can do the high flying shit. I think I'm too. I think I'll try it once, realize I'm not athletic enough to do it, and then realize I'm not down enough to potentially fuck myself up if this fool doesn't want to catch me for some reason, you know? Like so fucking props to like Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, all the high flyers and shit. Or I know it might be taboo to bring his name up on this, and if they flag us for this. Or maybe like a Benoit, fucking stocky ass fucking wrestler, brawler, and then he does his flying whatever the fuck that shit was, flying headbutt or some
The
shit.
flying headbutt.
Yeah, so I mean, I know that fool's a big no no in the WWE. Like they just pretend that fool never existed.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Especially they had such a crazy ass resume since
Mm-hmm.
what like the mid or early '90s and shit. He's just wiped from existence. Fucking wild. Fucking crazy to really think about it.
No, yeah, that whole story is very unfortunate, uh, and even until now, just the fact that they've tried to erase him, whether that's good or not. I mean, that's not up for me to decide. But yeah, going back to what you said, um, not just the high flyers, but just people who take risks in the world of professional wrestling. I think it's pretty crazy. Like, no, willingly knowing that you're about to do some crazy ass shit, that you're about to jump off like that cage or whatever in like 10 minutes, and then after that, the other fool's about to jump off from the top of the stage. I mean, it's not like that every single time, but whenever those spots are planned, I just think it blows my mind. Like,
You know
you
what?
know.
I'm gonna take a drink for Shane McMahon because that dude is so fucking old and he's still fucking falling off the cages.
Hey,
So
shout out to Shane McMahon. That fool just took another huge bump today. He got thrown off the top of the cage from by Braun Strowman. I just think that's crazy because because he
I'm not even surprised at this fucking point.
sometimes you can see them like talk to each other like you ready, or you can see
Yeah.
both of them brace each other, but like at that point when like let's say he asks you like, hey bro, you're ready, I'm about to like throw you off. Like you can't, like, even if you say no, like you're on live TV, bitch, like you're about to
Yeah.
fucking you
You're like
know
you're taking this fall whether you want to or not. We've established this fucking spot
yeah,
right now.
yeah. So I just think that's crazy. Fucking shout out to all those fools. I'm sure it's painful, uh, and it's just crazy. But I mean, I love all those fools. I love the world of professional wrestling, and I appreciate all the shit they do.
Man, that shit is fucking just the fact that he's been doing this shit for so long when he had color in his hair and he's still falling off cages and shit. And the worst part is half the time he's like falling off and it's not even to like land on someone. He's just falling off the fucking
Yeah,
cage.
yeah, yeah. Every time
So
the fool has like a big match, I just know. I wonder what the fuck this was gonna jump off of. I mean, that's already an established thing in
that's in his
the.
contract and shit. He has to
Yeah,
jump off
yeah.
something.
Like if you're a fan of WWE, you just know that was gonna do some crazy ass shit.
You know what the fuck we're talking about. You know damn well what the fuck we're talking about. But yeah, that's crazy. WWE, I mean, WrestleMania has been split up into two nights. Well, starting since last year, but good to know now. Nice to know it's on fucking Peacock subscription. So, which is funny because my girl's been wanting to see the Harry Potter movies again, and I was not down to buy that shit. I did not want Peacock just for Harry Potter, but since they have the WWE on there,
There you
I get
go.
to kill two birds with one stone. But damn, I just want to go watch some old ass fucking Stone Cold matches. I think I just want to do a binge of all his matches. That fucking Attitude Era was just fucking different.
Hey,
That-
that shit was different. That shit was a different time. And man, I don't know if pro wrestling will ever be that ever again. I think it might have gotten. I think it might have peaked already in the '90s. You know,
yeah,
unfortunately. But yeah, that Stone Cold, that bad motherfucker. I'm sure
I mean,
he's a role model to all of us.
he's the reason why some of us don't give a fuck about a lot. He's the reason why we don't like bootlickers and we don't like corporations. uh, but I mean, they could go back to the Attitude Era again. It's just like I've said this before, and I'm gonna die. I will die on this fucking hill. The more they keep giving into this PC bullshit, no longer like it's gonna stay fucking PG, and they can't test boundaries to shit. I know there's some things that are kind of stupid, like Vince McMahon saying the N word is like okay, dick, like that actually didn't need to happen. Like that was just
Yeah,
there's no point to that really. It didn't build on story. It didn't create any suspense. It was just a dumb fucking supposed to be a comedic moment. So those type of things, it's like you won't know until you try it and see the reception from the audience and like everyone that's watching. So I still understand, but at the same time, like, come on, dude, like we can have another motherfucker fighting against corporations and shit. We can have another motherfucker just, create another crazy ass rivalry like The Rock and fucking Stone Cold. Like it's possible, but they have to be willing to go down that road again.
yeah.
This I don't even know what the fuck you will call this era. Does this era even have a name right now? Is there any way to
Damn.
describe this era?
I don't know what I would call this era. I'm sure there's a name for it. I would just call it the new era. I know this it's gone through a lot. It's gone from like the attitude era to the ruthless aggression era to the PG era. I guess you could call that right now the PG era. It has been like the golden era. I don't know if that really took place. That's just something that WWE tried to market. But yeah, I would just say the PG era. But yeah, their current contest is aimed at like the younger audience. That's where they get their money from like the kids wanting the
Yeah.
new John Cena shirt, wanting the new hero shirt. But we are seeing competitors like All Elite Wrestling, AEW, who aim at a more edgier content and an older audience, like 18 and over audience. And even though they don't show shit like nudity and shit like that, and like talk down about bitches, like the
Yeah.
Attitude Era did, their matches are not afraid to like, for example, go through like glass tables, show blood, say things like bitch, shit, and fuck, things that are available in
Mm,
WWE. So yeah, it's on TNT. So yeah, AEW is a good like more edgier alternative to current W.
interesting.
It's definitely not no attitude era shit, but yeah, it's definitely more edgier than WWE. They recently had a barbed wire death match, like
What the fuck?
two months ago. Yeah, and that was pretty crazy. It was pretty brutal. I would never want to be in such a thing. Just imagining falling in like barbed wire and shit. But yeah, shout
Did
out
his
to
Sting? Did his Sting come out?
Sting did recently have an appearance on AEW. He was helping out the homie Darby Allen um in like a handicap match. I'm not sure what happened. I think someone came in and interfered in his match, and he just came out to help him, assisted him, and they had a tag team. But yeah, Sting joined Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was on there this past Wednesday. He was on there. Shaquille O'Neal was on there. They have AEW is making a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
noise. Hell yeah! If you're a pro wrestling fan or you were a pro wrestling fan, I definitely recommend you checking out All Elite Wrestling on TNT on Wednesdays. They definitely have that attitude era feel, and I think they'll make you fall in love with pro wrestling again.
Interesting. That's what I was gonna say. Would you say okay? So you're saying it's not the Attitude Era, but do you think it might be better than the Attitude Era without the
Damn,
nostalgia kicking in? Like comparing what Attitude Era did instead on TV compared to what All Elite is doing. Then who do you think is doing it better?
I think okay in
Or do
term.
you think it was? Do you think it was like that moment, like oh, Raw? walked so fucking AEW can fly.
I mean, it's. I feel like they're both are have peaks in different ways in terms of like the Attitude Era reached like crazy new limits in terms of like the culture. It was part of the culture versus AEW. It's just really like good pro wrestling. You get me? So the WWE Attitude Era and even WWE today is good at like reaching out towards the culture. For example, Bad Bunny was on there today, and even back then they had Tyson, they had Ali at one of the WrestleManias, so they were always good at like just being part of everyday life.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that. I would say in terms of pro wrestling, AEW is better, but in just terms of like the quality, not the quality, but in terms of entertainment value, the Attitude Era was definitely better at that.
Okay, okay. Interesting. Might have to check out AEW just to see what the fuck is going on then. But damn. Oh, I was gonna ask. So, what type of wrestler would you be then, or what did you want to be when you were a kid?
Damn. Well, honestly, my first favorite wrestler was The Rock growing up, so I just wanted to be a brawler. I just wanted to fucking smack the shit out of people, and smack that motherfucker again, you know?
You gotta get
and,
that for a big sniff if fucking just look at the crowd. Oh shit.
so you know, I just wanted to whip foods back and forth like The Rock. But then as I grew older, I started appreciating like things like The Undertaker, Jeff Hardy. I'd be right there fucking going ham and shit, having like going crazy. So I wanted to be a high flyer specifically because of Jeff Hardy, like the Swanton Bomb, the Whisper in the Wind. I thought all that shit was fucking badass. And then Jeff, I mean, yeah, Jeff Hardy, but RVD and Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio added into like the whole high flyer
Yeah,
mystique.
same, same.
Um, but growing up, your boy was pretty heavy, so I was like, oh, I don't think this
you
high
could have
flyer
been a,
shit is
you could have
gonna
been like
work.
a Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe was a fat high flyer.
Samoa Joe is a bad motherfucker, and uh, I would like to have a street fight with him to sh-
Okay,
to see my level of toughness because that's a bad cat. But
okay.
but yeah, then I idolized the Undertaker. The Undertaker was cool. So I think a brawler, like a powerhouse. There's this dude named Keith Lee right now who's currently in WWE, and he's a big motherfucker. And but this guy can do like backflips, front flips. He's really athletic for a guy his size. I think he might be like 300 plus pounds.
Oh shit. Damn. I mean, hey man, my boy, if you got it like that, then then fuck, be that big and be a high flyer. That's just crazy to think about it because that's not supposed to really be how it goes. But fucking man, more power to them since they can actually do it and they could be the weight that they want to be at. You know, fuck bitches, eat the food they want and fucking still be a high flying ass fool. Um, damn, yeah, just taking me down fucking nostalgia, fucking taking me down the old road of fucking jumping off my couches as high as I can, being a chubby ass kid trying to be the fucking RVD and shit of everything. Um, I think I would probably make my character more of a. At one time, I wanted to be not a luchador, but I wanted to wear a mask. I just didn't have an idea of a mask to wear, and I still wasn't sure if like, do I want a storyline where my mask is a pretty critical part of me? I become a champ, and then I lose my mask, and I have to take on this new identity and start all over as like a new person. And like, do I go from a high flyer to a brawler? Like, I want to play all these different characters and like transition and be a well-rounded wrestler. But that just sounded like too much too, you know.
Mhm.
Um, I think I wanted a devil mask with the horns. I want it to be a weird hybrid of John Cena, RVD, and Batista Powerhouse. I want it to be a weird mixture of those three. I want it to be rebellious and a thug like Cena. I want it to be a high flyer, and I want it like RVD and be all zen and yin yang and shit, martial artist. And then I also want to be like this fucking behemoth beast that needs to be
The
unleashed and shit.
animal, yeah.
The animal, yep. Um, damn, that's just fucking crazy. I was actually well, this is gonna lead into a different topic. Talking about musicians and fucking, being in the WWE. I was just gonna ask instead. Totally different route, but I was seeing some debate on Twitter and IG recently. Um, and they're debating what the fuck is Kendrick's best album.
Mhm.
So you're the bigger Kendrick's fan here. What do you think? What in your opinion, what's the better album? I think it started because they were talking about Macklemore and shit and how white people
Macklemore.
still, yeah, they were like white people still music or some shit, and they somehow deviated to fucking Kendrick's best albums. I guess because that fool's overdue for an album too. His last one was what, Damn, in 2017.
Yeah, I think it might have been 2016, but hey, Macklemore, that fucking hands up banger, fucking thrift shop
Thrift shop.
banger.
That should be everyone go to the thrift shop. You knew who listened to it when you saw white boys come or white people come to school or post on social media and they just said, just got back from Goodwill, just came back from the thrift store. You're like, you listen to Macklemore, don't you, bitch?
Did this listen to Macklemore? And in that video, he was in the DeLorean too. So
Oh
respect.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, respect to that fool. That fool had a hard ass song. I fuck. How does it go? Something about like wanting to be like Jordan and play basketball and shit. Oh, that shit used to get me hyped up to play basketball. Stupid hyped. I would watch that video, just be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be like Jordan, tying my shoes and fucking pretend like I'm gonna fly so high. Fucking, I'm gonna just all of a sudden be able to jump fucking 5 extra feet in midair, start slamming that shit down. But anyway, that's besides the point. The point is, what's Kendrick's best album?
Off the top of the dome, I have to say, damn.
Really?
Yeah, I have, I have,
Wow.
I have to say, damn. Just because of the story, for a lot of reasons. One, the story.
Break the story down for us, because I'm gonna be honest. Out of Okay, this is let's consider first what are the albums we're basing this off of, or mixtapes too? Are we talking about mixtapes too, or projects in general, or what's
Um,
his best project in your opinion? What's the best project?
is damn. I think it's
Damn.
damn.
Okay.
Like
Damn. Okay.
with no matter which way you look at it, I think it's damn. My personal favorite is hard between Tippin' Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City. Um, but going back to damn, we start with blood, and it's basically Kendrick explaining, sharing a story about how he sees this lady, at a park or in public. I forget the details. And it's just basically like Kendrick dies or whatever. And then it leads into DNA. So he explains everything that's in his DNA. He's got loyalty, royalty, and all that shit. And then it goes into Yaya, Element. Um, and it just talks about, like, I like Element because he says that, he's made too much money to go broke. Like he and his family making too much money to go broke, and that he's willing to fucking do all this gang shit to keep the money incoming. Um, Honestly, I feel like this. I can go into like a whole hour's worth talking about this whole album, and I feel like that's something we can save for a full episode. But just keep a long story short, I love them for the story element and where Kendrick shows his struggles from even the start of Good Kid, Mad City all the way to the point of now, from facing, struggles within the projects to facing, survivor's guilt into Pimp a Butterfly. And this damn one is just like, fuck all that shit. Now I'm here and I'm staying here. That's how I took damn. So it's just him explaining to us why he's the shit. and
Okay.
and and um and why he's here to be here and why no one else is shit. And what really blew me away was when he came out with the collector's edition and threw the songs backwards. So instead of starting with Damn, it started with Duckworth. Duckworth being, Kendrick's last name. And then in that song, he talks about how his dad met, Anthony Duck, not Duckworth, but Anthony Timoth, I believe, is Top Dog's, name, the guy who created Top Dog. So it's just a story about how about his dad and how he met, and just like the whole coincidence between that. And it's just a whole different story once you play it from the reverse to the beginning. So I
Hmm.
would say that Damn is his best album for sure. And even with awards, can back that up. He even won like the Pulitzer Award, and that's like the first hip hop rap genre to ever win such award. So I think that speaks volumes within itself. So yeah, man, damn, I would have to say damn is his best work for sure. And who knew? I always say this about Kendrick. Kendrick is real good that I always get nervous when he brings out a new project because I always say, "Damn, uh, Section 80 was such a good project. How he's gonna top that?" And then Good Kitty, Mad City came out, and I wondered how he was gonna top that. Timber Butterfly came out, and I wondered how he was gonna top that. And then Damn came out, and it's just been he hasn't peaked. So seeing that he is overdue for an album, I get nervous as a fan of Kendrick, as a fan of just music. Um, but I honestly think that Damn is his best work so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm gonna get crucified for saying this. I'm gonna be really honest, and I've put in the effort for it. It started with the overly dedicated, and I was like, damn, fire. And then fucking
Or dedicated
section
is
80, I was like, yeah, section 80, I was like, fuck. And then
good.
fucking good Kid Mad City, I was like, that's it. Why the fuck are we even debating this no more? Everyone quit the fucking rap game. I'm sorry, Cole, quit this shit right now.
Hmm.
That's it. Kendrick's fucking, that's it, dog. That's all I could say at that point. So when I heard Macklemore won, I was like, all right, so we finna roll out, right? Like we're gonna find out where Macklemore is at right now, right? Because that fool don't deserve that shit. And I mean, obviously, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what the fuck happened, but between Good Kid, Mad City, and fucking To Pimp a Butterfly, I'm gonna be honest. I could not get into Pimp a Butterfly. I tried so hard, I could not get into it. There's
Yeah.
certain songs, I was just like, bro, I can't. Like every song on Good Kid, Mad City was a banger to me. Every single fucking song was a goddamn banger to me. And then I tried to Pimp a Butterfly. I was like, nah, I can do without this song. And I was like, nah, I can do without this one. I was like, and then I started realizing it was more and more. I was like, oh shit. And then Damn came out, and I was like, all right, fuck it. Fuck yeah, another Kendrick. Listen to it. I was like, this is not hitting for me at all. And then I went straight to Duckworth because that was the one everyone went to. So I skipped every song up until Duckworth. And I was like, let me hear this song. I was like, all right, this is good storytelling. This is what I expect from Kendrick. This is just Kendrick, like Super Saiyan level at this point. But I go back and I listen to other songs, and like the other songs that were getting me going was like Element, yeah, like DNA and shit. But those are also like In Love, and you
What
know,
about Lust? Lust is a fucking banger. Into the water. That shit's a banger, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I noticed that it went from every song is a banger and Good Kid to okay, like 80% of them are a banger, and then damn, I was like, all right, 60% of this album's a banger. And that's saying a lot because those are big transitions to go down in terms of like percentages in my head of like what's good and what's not.
Mhm.
And I mean, like I said, people might fucking hate me for that. I'm sorry. It's just like I don't know, man. I just fucking I don't know what it was. Like I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get into Damn. I couldn't get into Pimp a Butterfly at all. I was hard. I was having a hard time, and I don't think it's because of jazz and all the shit he was doing. Because I love jazz. Like I love regular jazz music and shit. So it's not a problem when he. I'm not. I don't have anything against when rappers try to fuse different things like that. It's just for some reason it didn't hit it for me. It's just like that. What is it? What's going on here?
Mhm.
And then Damn came out. I was like I guess because sometimes some of the songs were getting played on the radio too. I was starting to wonder if the same thing was going to happen to him, like what happened to Drake, and he just became Drake was always like a pop rapper. So I was worried for a second. Oh, don't fucking tell me Kendrick's going to be a pop rapper now, because there's more songs I felt like were hitting the radios than his previous projects were.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed that. I don't think it's the same level. Him and Drake are two different artists. They are in the same genre, I guess, the same umbrella, but they are not making the same music for the same fans. And I'm willing to argue with anyone and their mom about that. But um, yeah, man, I'm gonna say I think Good Kid is his best fucking project. I think everything's still good, but I think that's like that's that athlete that's hungry for that belt.
I see that.
You know, that's what that album felt like. He was hungry for the throne, hungry for the championship. And Pimp a Butterfly and fucking Damn I felt like when he wins the belt, those are his title defenses, and he's winning through decisions. I'm like, like you were knocking these fools out, submitting these fools to get to the belt, and now they have the belt. You're winning by decisions. That's what it felt like for me. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't even know if this fool announced anything about a new album.
I don't know. I'm just waiting to wake up one day and see the Hard Part 5 out, and that's when I know that
Ooh,
heat is coming soon. That it's fucking shooting season, and bangers are on the way. Um, I I think I think in retrospect, Good Kid, Mad City is my favorite. But and Damn is his best work. But True to Pimp a Butterfly, I think has his more like honest work or true to himself work. And in the aspect that I remember him saying that he made like 80 something songs for that album and only like what like 12 of them made it. And I remember in this interview he said he was so heartbroken about it, and that's why he even released Untitled Unmastered, which had songs
yeah.
that were supposed to go into Pimp a Butterfly, but just didn't make the cut. So just from that, I feel that Pimp a Butterfly was more him, and I know that a lot of people can debate that To Pimp a Butterfly is his best work.
Hey man, I mean, to each their own. You know, it's all subjective at the end of the day, so it doesn't really matter what the fuck we say. But yeah, I'm just trying to look back in retrospect, like you said. Already forgot Untitled Mastered even happened. To be honest, I kind of added it. I kind of didn't even care for it anymore, so I just never really listened to it anymore.
It
But
it, it is
Good Kid, Mad
subjective.
City always fucking slaps.
It does always slap, and it is always subjective. In my subjective opinion, I think that Kendrick is the goat. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but I just want you to know that you're fucking wrong. And and there's a double headed goat of rap called J Cole and Kendrick.
All right, dog. Let's keep it a buck. You really believe that shit? That there's double headed goats and shit? I don't believe that
The
shit.
double headed goat of Kendrick
Nah,
Lamar
nah,
and
nah, nah,
Jermaine
nah,
Cole.
nah. Nah, nah, nah. Because in that case, we might as well make everyone a fucking goat if we're gonna say that someone's a double headed goat. I don't know about that one, player. I think you're wrong on that one. I respect your opinion, but I think you're wrong. Uh, that's like telling me it's fucking Stone Cold and The Rock are ghosts. Like, bro, they had a rivalry. You can't say they're both winners. One of
Hey,
them has to be the winner.
the double headed goat of rest, the Mount Rushmore of rap.
Okay, okay, now okay, no, that's a different argument now.
Jermaine
Okay,
Cole and Kendrick Lamar are on there. Everyone else can debate what other heads are on there.
okay, well, all right, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Um, damn. Uh, I feel like there's some other news we have to talk about real quick. I think the only thing I wanted to bring up was um, I don't know if you care or you heard Anderson Silva's gonna fight
Bro, I just heard about
Cesar,
that.
Cesar
That's
Chavez Jr.
oh my god. What's the age difference on that?
Shit, isn't fucking that guy only isn't Chavez only like 32 or 29 or some shit?
Something
And
like
fuck
that. Silva's
and
45.
yeah, wild.
I mean, I will see why you're Anderson Silva and why you take that fight. I don't see me being Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and taking that fight. I don't see what
Yeah.
he has to gain from that fight. I think it's a bad fight for him in particular. Anderson Silva's already checking out. With all due respect to Anderson Silva, to one of the greatest, he's already on his way out. But I think Cesar Chavez still has a lot to prove, and I think in a fight like this is definitely odd at this point in his career. And it does seem like he kind of went on a downhill after fighting Canelo. I remember a lot of people were disappointed in him after that fight.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'm still gonna watch the fight. I'm not
I'm
gonna
still
pay
gonna
for that
watch
shit. I ain't gonna pay for that shit though, you know. But yeah, what's up with fucking MMA fighters wanting to try to box somebody, or like who's calling out who at this point? You know, like first of all, it's not even a. First of all, I'm using that term very loosely. Jake Paul's not a fucking professional boxer. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'm fucking willing to die on this hill too. I saw his training videos, boy, bro. I'm pretty sure you and me respectively can fucking fuck that fool up fucking with a blindfold. I was watching his fucking shit. I can tell a scrub when I fucking see one. He's fighting fucking scrubs. they're not even fucking defending. They're not taking that shit serious. They were just there to eat his shots and fucking post it for the gram. And that's why I'm like, nah, like this is fucking corny, you know? There's fucking dudes out there busting their ass to be good fighters. Like, why aren't you giving them a chance? Why don't you go into the amateurs and fight? But we already know the answer to that. We know this fool's not fucking made for that shit. We know he's not gonna want to do that shit. So I don't give a fuck. Especially if people want to argue, oh, it's for the money. What you mean it's for the money, dick? Just fucking do WWE then at that point. You get more money out of that shit, most likely.
Bro, he's gonna be on at WrestleMania Night 2 tomorrow. Logan Paul, Jake Paul. I don't know which one of the Pauls is gonna be on there. Again, I can understand the Bad Bunny part of being at WrestleMania, but Logan Paul, Jake Paul. I don't know which one it is. Fuck you, get the fuck on my screen. I do not want to watch that shit. But
Yeah,
hey, if you who's at home want to see fucking late day fight Logan Paul or Jake Paul or both of them at once, fucking let us know. I know I would pay for that.
bro, you're gonna be in my fucking corner talking to me like fucking. I'm gonna go in there fucking like my Khabib. I'm gonna go in there with a fucking raccoon hat and all that shit. I'm gonna tell everyone over there. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna smash him, boy. I'm gonna smash him. And fuck, 2 weeks, dog. I just need 2 weeks. I need 2 weeks to study him, and I'll be fucking Gucci. I don't even need a spar, bro. I fucking already know that for sure. I don't need a spar. Just gotta get my fucking body in rhythm. Gotta get my fucking heart, my fucking body condition a little bit. We'll be fucking good. We don't even have to count it to 12 rounds, Dick. I'll make sure that shit doesn't pass six, and I'll make sure I'm standing on top. I'll make sure I fucking know what. I hate sounding like this, but I know for a fact I do not fight like average Joes. I fucking know that for a fact. I am not the average Joe fighter. I'm sure there's 100 other million people that are fucking better than me. Obviously, I'm just saying from what I've seen so far, and from my personal experiences fighting, bro. No, bro, dog. I'm 7-0 in my life. Come on now. I'm 7-0 in street fights, bro. Let's go. What's these gloves gonna do? Nothing. This fool wins, my fucking body slam his ass after when I get my ass up. But nah, fuck. That shit just irritates you because it's so, like so many dumbass people fucking talking shit, trying to act like, oh, Ben Askren can't fucking fight. He has no hands. Like, yeah, dick, we fucking know that. But the point is that fucking, why is he only fighting fools that don't have hands? Then why does he not challenge the actual ones that can box? That's my biggest gripe with this. Like, if you're really about the love of the sport and you're about that shit, fight a motherfucker that can box. Fight a boxing amateur. Fight a fool that's a fucking champion in some little league and shit, you know?
Mhm.
Go fucking earn your stripes, but he doesn't want to. So fuck that fool. Fuck his brother too. They're all bitch made, fucking weird ass internet hoes. I don't get it, bro. I don't get the fucking way we are. I don't get the way people are nowadays. I don't get this shit. It's just corny.
Hey, I don't understand it either, but Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Conor McGregor doesn't want to fight you. Ben Askren doesn't want to fight you, but my boy Dave here wants to fight you for sure. So shoot him the contract.
Bro, well fucking I don't even want the money. I'm gonna donate that shit anyway.
There you go. He'll fucking donate it to charity. If you're at home listening to this or watching this, let us know if you'd like to see this with fucking fight one of the Paul brothers. I know I would like to fight him, and I'd like to fucking deck him too. So fucking let us know. What's up? We got night two of WrestleMania coming at you for tomorrow night. We'll definitely get a recap of that and whatever mama is going on in this life. Uh, until then, I feel like we're good here. Fucking shout out to everyone. Shout Prince Philip. Fuck you for dying on the
How
same day
dare
as
you die?
DMX.
How dare you die the same day as DMX? You fucking old, ugly,
Fucking
bitter
selfish,
bitch.
selfish motherfucker. You've been alive for 99 years, and the day that DMX died, that's when you decided to call it quits. So fuck you for that shit.
That shit felt racist when he died. Oh, damn. Ah, shit. That shit was bad disrespectful. I don't give a fuck though. Uh, uh, oh my
and,
god.
and yeah, bro. Besides that, fucking follow us on IG at this food podcast. Check us out on YouTube at this food podcast. Let us know what you think about this shit. Hit us up. We got all of our beers listed on our IG, and I think we're out of here.
Yeah, guys, take care. Continue to be sick ass fools, and we'll see you guys later. All right.
Rest in peace, DMX.